us Zambians are actually very peaceful people. We love our freedom, And if Zambians they okay, what is the point? Okay, what is the main reason why would Zambians stand up to start throwing stones and stuff like that? Okay, last time it was in the 80s when the things went bad because of Kaunda staying for too long. The other time here and there, but for the most part, this government is doing its best. And we cannot lump all the problems that have been happening for the last 60 years on one political party and say, aha, solve it now. If you don't solve it, then we're going to go to the streets. No, 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 no. It's very unfair. But Danny.
Yeah. Yeah, the opposition response to the Tanzanian one just shows how immature they are in their ideologies. There's no way you can wish something bad to your country and say, I want to rule a country that will be broken into pieces. It just doesn't make sense. And each and every one of them were saying, oh, yeah, this is coming to Zambia. Yes, this is coming to Zambia. It's coming to Zambia, and then you want to lead. It doesn't just, to me, to be honest, I haven't, even Munduvire hasn't said anything. And that's, if you can't say anything, just keep quiet. That's better. So Munduvire is quiet, which I like. Don't comment on such type of thing. But most of the Calabas, the word, oh yes, this is coming to Zambia, it's a matter of time. It's, to me, it's very, very unfortunate to have that type of opposition. But as Kalinda said, right now, I don't even, with few months to go before the elections, I was listening to my brother Kashambatwa on radio and TV the other day. He was saying this will be a very, very strange election in the sense that it's the first time since 1964 that we've never had proper opposition challenging the incumbency. Nothing. There will be nothing next year. There will be no credible opposition opposing our party, UPND. Zero. I know some people say, don't say that, don't say that. It's true. There's no way these guys can get organized within 5 months. They have 5 months to organize themselves. 5. Okay? To go to a convention, find a leader and market the leader and then win.
No. I mean, first of all, they have to register a party.
Yeah. So remember the last 3 months, the last 3 months of before August. So we're talking about June. Actually, we're talking about May. May, June, July. So these last 3 months, every political party should have already finished their campaign. You don't campaign in the last 3 months. So basically, they have only December, January, February, March, April, May. That's it to do their work. And knowing them right now, if they have to choose a candidate, they have to go to the national convention. They have to organize money for a convention. That takes months. They go to convention.
I mean, registration, organize a convention, and in the meantime, they have a body that they have to bury.
Yeah. And you remember, the ballot boxes have to be printed within the next 2-3 months.
Correct.
So, if they delay, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is going to say, we have to print these ballots. You don't print ballots a day before the elections. You print them months before the elections. So they need to come up with the candidates basically within the 4 months. Otherwise, the train will leave the station.
Oh, the train has sailed. I mean, the way I look at it, the train has sailed.
Yeah.
Because we are at a standstill. I mean, they can't organize. They can't be seen to be organizing themselves because they have a body which is in the mortuary in morgue in South Africa. That's not being moved. And then we have also the South African faction who are saying, hey, if the president decides to, I mean, who told Makebi that HH wants to come and witness his ECLs? But who told him?
The South African.
I mean, what a stupid way to release a statement to the Zambian people. Oh, if the president just steps aside, the body will bring it tomorrow. I mean, how many times has he changed his stance? It's like, if we move a needle just an inch, he'll come back and move that needle 2 inches back. What are you thinking?
The BBC, South African Broadcasting, that same day they asked they asked the Zulu about that statement. They said, "Oh, we don't want HH to be near." Then they said, "Do you know that HH has been leaving the country for sometimes 2, 3, 4 days, and then he comes back? Why don't you take the body when he's out of the country?" HH has been making international tours. He goes to UK. That time he went to Britain. He was there almost a week.
Uh-huh.
If they wanted to take the body in his absence, fly it then, because it was away. Go. And why don't you use that opportunity if you don't want? He goes out very soon. He's gonna go out for another week or so outside the country. So take it. Said no, he can fly back. No, he can't.
No, but
Go.
I mean, in true sense, the Zulu faction, they don't even they have the rights to the body. I mean, it's just that we have somebody who is that. I mean, I've always said about this about HH. He's too much of an SDA elder.
Yeah.
The courts gave the Zambian government the powers to get that body from South Africa and bring it to Zambia.
Yeah.
I don't know why our government is doing that, but they're not doing it.
Yeah.
On the sites, I've spoken to one Kabesha. He says we're just gonna let it play out. What does that tell me?
Yeah, the government thinks that they'll get fed up.
No,
The government think that they'll get fed up.
They are very lucky I'm not in State House, because if I was in State House, that body would have. The same day the South African government gave me the rights to have permission to get that body, we would have buried that body already by now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because right now, we are the government. This Christianity, we get it. We are all Christians, but some things you just have to take. In Tonga, we say you have to take the horns of a bull as it's fighting. So we see who can win it. That's all we need. Zambians have moved on.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that it would be a sorry day or state of affairs in Zambia. I think this is one president that we are going to take home to bury, and people won't even care, because Zambians have moved on.
Yeah. Well,
because when you ask most Zambia, they even tell you, it's okay.
Yeah.
When you have Zambians on the streets talk like that, what does that give you? And you want to use the body to campaign. You think you're going to win?
He said, if I don't stand as president, I'm gonna sin against God. God has told me I should be the next president.
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't he release a week in the same week? This week he released a statement that he had a conversation with Lungu, who told him he's going to be the next president. Who talks like that?
How many people have brought up that issue or that story? KBF says the same thing. All these other people in the opposition, even Nakachinda says he told me. So everybody was promised, but who is? So, just on, tapping on Makebi Zulu's statement, I think, to me, it sounded a little bit funny, because like the back and forth is really, people are like, what really is the problem? Because the reasons they're bringing across are very irrelevant and very trivial. For him to come up to say, oh, if the government writes to us to say HH won't attend the funeral, then tomorrow will be on the next plane. Really? I think that's not a break of any deal.
So childish.
Whether they want it or not, I don't think I don't think they even want to bring the body, because there's something deeper than what an average Zambian is seeing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, what do we see? He wants to stand as the president. So he wants to stand as a president. He's the family lawyer. He's representing the family. Isn't that conflict of interest? And he's the one on the negotiating table.
Yeah.
When they say we're talking to the government, how are you going to negotiate with somebody who's your opponent in the next coming general elections? Because obviously now it has become political now. It's no longer a family issue. It's political.
But this issue has
Hmm?
been political from the
From,
inception.
hmm. Okay. So these are the issues that Zambians now have woken up and saying, no, no, no. If really you're coming up to say, oh, I want to be the president of Zambia. Now, how are the Zambian people going to listen to you? If one, you're just displaying how bad of a leader you are, or how bad of a negotiator you are. Because if you are put in charge of negotiating this, really, an average Zambian who's, because you call yourselves the Patriotic Front, who's very patriotic to the country, they could have listened to the greater good and to the people. 100% of the people are saying, bring him back, we want to bury him because he wasn't the president of the family, he was a president for Zambia. And Zambia comprises of all these provinces, different parties. Even the PF themselves, the party members are saying, we want to bury our president in Zambia. So why are they just holding on to it like it's Tumbi, Tabakwate, a political a song or a political, what you call it, a political anthem or campaign, So which is very sad. That's what they're doing. But I think that issue has been exhausted. Let's go to the next topic, lady and gentlemen. I don't know if you saw that. Bakasonde Mwenda, the so-called one man party, National Neka Party leader. He went and sued the government to say, because of load shedding, I'm going to sue the government because they are load shedding the Zambian people, and because the Zambian people need to have power and they're exporting, blah, 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 blah. So he has sued the state. I don't know what you guys think. Whoever wants to tackle this first. Then.
That's just madness. Is everyone knows the reason why we have load shedding, and if the government had just sat in the chair and do nothing, that would be another case. But right now, we know how many projects, the alternative projects for generation of power, the government is involved in. I was so shocked when I saw that list of how many solar projects they are doing right now. More than 50
Mhm.
right now across the country.
Mhm,
That's a
mhm,
lot of projects being worked on right now.
mhm,
So in the next few months or so, we're definitely
mhm,
gonna be on top of this problem. So
mhm.
Probacus on the Mwenda is just a dreamer, or whatever. He's an alarmist. You can see he's always talking as if he's got some better like better terms, like it's constipated or something like that. It's you look at his face. So it's I don't know. It's being an irresponsible citizen in my view. But otherwise, everyone knows the government is doing its best to alleviate the situation. Yeah.
Bakalinda.
Okay, for me, here's I'm going to sing a song in Tonga, and then I'll translate that.
Mhm.
Um,
Go ahead.
in Tonga, we have a song. When a child does something wonderful, magical, and we get together as a family, any Tonga family will attest to this. Usually, parents would sing to you with this song. They would say, "Waga haraji anga chindi jagwe, waga haraji anga chindi jagwe, waga haraji anga chindi jagwe, waga haraji anga chindi jagwe," meaning,
I know Chin this time.
yes.
The person who gave birth to a fool, that's his problem.
Yes. And in Bakasondemwenda, I don't know what Kool-Aid is drinking or what he's puffing. I don't know. When I listen to him, I look at him and I ask myself that, is this man sane? Because he comes up with so out. I think he's out of. He's out of touch with reality. Like the dog says, the man is an alarmist. the man is out of touch with reality. I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes he thinks he's already the president. I mean, he has issued so many outlandish statements from the time he formed that political party that he claimed. I mean, it has this mantra: "The legs shall take us there." So the legs are going to take him to China if he continues. That would be my word of, I mean, I don't see it. How do you sue the
Yeah.
government? I mean, it's different if you have a government that's sitting on its laurels, but
Mhm.
you have a government that's bringing in investors to try to alleviate the problem. Now big investors that are coming into the country. Starting off with the recent investment that went into Sri Lanka. What's NC? What's that? What United Capital? With their
United,
fertilizer,
yeah.
right there in Sri Lanka, attached to that investment, they're also producing solar that which provides power for them, and then the extra is being put into the national grid.
Mhm.
Talk about Chisamba Solar.
Mhm.
That's being that investment right there. You know, they have power. They are producing that goes into their factory. The extra is being given to Mamba quarries. This government came in. They found a $600 million date, and Mamba quarries was almost coming to a halt. They have been paid, and they even expanded on their power production. I mean, all these power stations in my own father's backyard, right there in what's that word? What is that area?
Shivunji.
Is it not Shibuyonju? Not Shibuyonju. That's where my father's house is. What's before Shibuyonju? They
Mumbwa. Is it
just
Mumbwa?
yeah,
Mumbwa?
Mumba. They just, there's a 15, is that 50, power generation company, that mining. I mean, it's also, giving us extra power. I mean, there are all these solar things that are under, being manufactured or produced right now, which are
Mhm.
probably by the end of this year, you're going to see a lot of power generation that's going to be fed into the national grid.
Mhm.
We are all reading it. We are all seeing it. I mean, it's not just words. We are actually seeing the results,
Mhm. Mhm.
and more results are coming. And then you
Mhm.
have somebody like, my legs are going to take me there. I'm telling you, that man is going to go to China. Man. Just watch his face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The National Neka Party, the National Neka Party leaders, they've been mushrooming for some time now. But, I've been listening to him. I heard his story, and I was like, for the most part, all the time, he's got his facts wrong. All the time. He always has his facts wrong. And if you listen to Friday's, parliament sitting, the vice president is saying that we're no longer exporting power. You know, the time that we were exporting power was we were obliged to go through the contracts, that were there already in place. So that was what was happening. But
And
the,
let's also add those contracts were
Under PF,
signed by who?
PF,
PF,
the
and
PF,
they chewed the money already. They chewed
yeah.
the money already.
So they took the
and
money
they chewed
already.
the
So
money.
now what they're saying is like we actually have cut back, to what we were exporting. We've cut back, and what has been happening is I think he doesn't have it right. She explained that there are individual business people, private companies that are actually now exporting power outside Zambia. There are so many companies now. They import from wherever, Tanzania, Mozambique. They're using the Zambian facilities to export to other countries. So the export, it looks like, Zambia is exporting, but it's actually the business individuals, private companies that are doing that business, but just using the government infrastructure, which is already in place. So he has got his facts wrong. So his case it's a DOA. So we'll see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be very ashamed. But the vice president was very categorically, and she explained it in parliament. Say, look, this is what's happening. Zambia is no longer, and like you're saying, I believe by the end of this year, according to what I heard, Zambia will at least, with alternative energy alone, will have at least 1,000 megawatt, of power by the end of this year. 1,000, probably another 1,000 next year. So we'll be looking at everybody. That's why I'm saying that this issue of load shedding is coming to an end. But people want it to end now. Things that therefore I don't know. It should end now. It should end now. I'm like, no. That's not the way things happen.
By the way, there were MPs
Mm.
that were given up to next week to produce evidence that Zambia is exporting.
Yes.
So now they are saying, no, but we had 5 months ago. I said, that was 5 months ago.
Mm.
But the speaker gave those two MPs,
Yes.
including this guy, the Kitweb guy?
There was one guy from Mukushi South, I forget his name, who brought it up, and then I don't know who else. Which one? Binwell? Yeah. So all those people, they talk about.
Bring evidence now, next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it.
Yes. Because people they're misleading the people, and people are just listening to them, and they say, "Oh, kanshi." Anyway, so on another story, a nice Kwenyu, the nice gesture by our first lady, Ramayova Mutinta. She went to the Copper Belt and made a huge donation to Kitwe General Hospital. I think the last time I was seeing a first lady being this active in terms of practical work and donating to the less privileged. I think it was he was very good at that. To be honest, I don't know, but I didn't see Esther Lungu do anything like that. Besides her having an organization that she says she had an NGO, I never saw her. I'm sorry to just bring it up, but I was just thinking.
Chilufia, you don't want me to take me there, do you?
I was just thinking to say.
Do you want me to remind you of the dinosaur? Esther came here to America to collect in Los Angeles. That fire truck.
If my outdated fire trucks.
Which she donated to Saka Fire Department.
Which have never been used.
It's never even so. It never left. It's, as we speak, it's on stones. And she used $1 million to go and collect that dinosaur.
She had 30 people in the entourage.
Yeah, so don't take me there, Chilufia. Let's just restrict our comments on on my wonderful older sister here, Mutunta. Yeah, so go ahead. I didn't want to. You took me there.
Okay. It was just a thought. I was just thinking, while I was watching what she was doing, I was like, well, this is brilliant work. I mean, this is a nice look on the government, the country, and I think as a whole, in the first family, I think they've proven to say we love Zambian people, and sometimes they do things out of their own pocket. Sometimes they would partner with donors, but when that happens, it is shown. It's not hidden. Yeah, it's not a secret NGO that nobody knows. So I think that was a brilliant. I don't know, you guys, if you saw that. What's your take on that? What's the impact on the people in the Copper Belt? Just Zambia as a whole. And the image of UPND and the president.
Yeah, that was good. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. You already. I heard it good. I already spoke. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that was a good gesture, and I like the way the the media covered it. It was not to exhibit her face in front of this and that and that. They basically just covered the equipment that was donated and what they sort of just mentioned her name a little bit, but not to put her face in front and doing all this type of thing that to show off. No, I think, in my view, I think she had requested that the whole process does not center on her. I think because the media would have really paraded her in front of everything, every little microscope, every little X-ray machine. You know what I mean? But she didn't do that. She stayed away from that. The media were concentrating on showing the equipment. The only time they showed her was getting on a helicopter back to Osaka and not something like that. So I think it was a good coverage in my view, which she didn't really want to be in the in the center of the attraction, but just to show the equipment and that came from the first lady's office. That's it. It's a very humble. It was a humble way of covering that event. Otherwise, I think if it were in other regimes, the first lady would have stood there, 100 pictures in front of the camera and all that, but she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do that. That's what I observed. You know. Yeah.
Okay, Bakalinda, you want to?
Yes, let me add on something here.
Mm,
I'm going to start with the history of our first ladies. Okay,
mhm, mhm,
starting with Betty. Betty, Betty.
mm,
I mean, the only things we heard about Betty was
mm,
Kaunda. That is, she
mhm,
was all about protecting her husband.
mhm,
We heard stories about Betty scolding
mhm,
um, somebody, a servant at State House, because she looked at a dog in a certain way. Now, that story is never here or there. She poured that woman in hot water.
ah,
And she just took a pot boiling of hot water and poured on the servant at State House who was looking at
serious.
that dog. You didn't hear these stories.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
and now then we moved on to Vera. Vera, I mean, I love that woman. I mean, she's the one that came in with this whole idea of the first lady foundation thing, and
Mm,
everybody from since then, and uh, until before now, everybody came up with, oh no, Vera Chiluba Foundation, me, I'll be taking care of the little kids or whatever,
mm,
whatever. She did her thing. I love that
mm,
woman because,
mm.
nobody come and didn't Ramayo, but she did it.
You know, you know,
That
you know,
woman,
you
if
know,
she was
you know, you
given
know
a
what I
chance.
loved about her. Sorry to cut you short, but you know what I loved about her? She
Mhm.
was very confident with herself.
Yes, yes,
Very,
absolutely.
very
Me too.
even though she didn't master the Queen's language. Like it wasn't like that, but she would stand tall. With confidence
She
when talking.
learned the Queen's language when she got to
Mm,
State House.
mm,
But she came out of it a better person. She could communicate.
yeah.
Her confidence. I mean, I just feel like she came maybe from a very poor background, and she got lucky, met by Frederick, though he left her in a bad state. But at the end of the day, if that woman was coming from a rich family, she'd have gone far in life just by the confidence that she exuded. She didn't care.
No, no,
So,
she didn't.
so yeah. So then we moved on to from Betty. We came kuri Nani, Maureen. Maureen was a very, may her soul rest in peace. Very educated woman, but that woman loved money. I'm so
Mm,
sorry. And she also
mm,
had, I mean, I can't even remember what she did with her Maureen Manawasa Foundation. I can't remember. Yeah,
mm,
now that was also a copycat from Bavera. And then we moved on to from Bavera, Maureen, we had Huba Tandiwe.
mm, mm,
Tandiwa was a young lady. She was just thrust into
mm,
the role of a first lady by her late husband, Dr. Banda. But she had two young kids. Also, she did what she had to do with her Tandiwe Foundation. Tandiwe Banda Foundation. I think she went, she went into education because she was a teacher at heart. Well, we give her kudos. And then we came to who now? From Tandiwe, we had Vaesta. Vaesta, I can't even, I can't even know what to say about her. And then we have now Mutinta. Mutinta has no foundation. She came in, she said, nope, I'm not doing what Vera, I'm not going to duplicate what Vera did or Maureen, Esther. I don't want a foundation. I'm just going to pick whatever comes to my heart. And this is what she's doing. That's who she is. I mean, what she did in Kitwe, that's going to go a long way into reducing the mortality rate of our babies. And that's huge. We can't have in 2025 half of the babies being born in hospitals end up on a deathbed because they're lacking machines, drugs, and proper care. So what she did there is huge. And I mean, like the doc said, she didn't want to be put. Ask people from Shibuyunji, or should I say Shikatende? We really don't want to. We rather our actions speak for ourselves. We don't want to be seen. That's our nature. So to see her do what she did, I mean, she's the first lady since I've been alive, who just said, look, don't put me as the first lady. I'm just going to do me, But when you think about it, it's nice to be married to one of the richest men in Zambia, and you don't have to worry about side chicks because you have your husband has given you his PIN numbers at the bank, so you know what's in the account. And she's doing exactly that.
Yeah.
So I would say kudos to her. Hopefully she does more. I mean, she's done a lot more, but she'll continue as the first lady, and of course with her husband's money, she knows what to do. So kudos.
Kudos indeed. So the issue of Bill 7 has been on topic on most opposition. They're saying, okay, why is this constitutional review? The committee has been chosen, and why is this one there? Why is this one there? Certain NGOs are backing out, say we don't support it. But at the first time, they were saying we needed a more comprehensive, more consultative, process. Now that process is being done now. Again, they're saying no. The people who have been appointed in the committee, we don't trust them. Like, what do people want? Like, what is it? What's the problem, really? Like, is it just the bill itself? Because the bill, I think that at the first time, people said it's not about the bill, but it's about the process. If I remember correctly, all these lawyers, when I KBF, Avina Sangwa, they were talking about the process. Now that the process is being followed, now they're saying, no, what's
Okay.
happening there?
All right. I'm gonna comment on that one. I'll be very honest with this process called Bill 10 consultative process. In
Bill
my
7.
view, in my humble view, the things that are in that bill, most of them are good, but a few of them are not good. Okay, and people have mentioned that over and over. When it comes to the period and way of consultation, definitely the time of doing this consultative meetings with citizens is the wrong time. We should all agree. It is 100% the wrong time. We cannot do it 5 months before the elections. We have things to concentrate on. Let the elections go, and then let's do this. Okay? If you look at the other amendment bills that have come, they do them way in advance before the elections, not too close to the election like this one. This is one of the closest bill amendment or constitutional amendment process we've had in the country since 1964. There's something fishy about this. We have to be very, very honest about it. We cannot be in a hurry talking about spending money on doing this. I mean, consulting citizens and all that, when we have pressing issues right now where that money should have gone in buying solar panels, opening. We are doing that, but please, this should not be a priority right now. It shouldn't. Okay. Now, the process itself, of course, you say you're going to meet in provincial headquarters only. In few, not all the provinces, only a few. Is it 10? Whatever. They have left out some. Provincial headquarters only? My cousin in Shikatende cannot go to Kabwe. Kabwe is, for him to go to Kabwe from Shikatende, that is his lifetime savings. All right. He has no computer to do online whatever. Yes. So the method of saying these guys are meeting in provincial headquarters, Chipata, you know, the people who live in the rural eastern province, how would they find themselves going to Chipata? They have no computer, not even cell phones. They don't have even the only thing they have nowadays is a radio in the village. That's it. So the process, though it is there, to me, it's like a band-aid. It's not a real consultative what. That's my view. It is not being done well. We should accept that as UPND, and we should be very, very sincere to our leadership. This is not the right way to do it. To me, actually, if possible, it was supposed to be handled by MPs. They are the lawmakers. So the consultative meetings should have been done in the constituencies, not at the provincial level. No, those centers are not enough. We needed hundreds and hundreds of places where we can collect information from our citizens. And to me, constituency level was going to be okay because my cousin knows where to go in Shuyunji there to go and give whatever. But to say my cousin has to travel from
Shikatende
to Kabwe.
to Saka, and then they're not even sending them to Mumbwa. They have to go to Kabwe.
Kabwe.
That's wrong.
Huge. My cousin has never been to Kabwe in his life, by the way. He doesn't even know where the provincial capital is for the province. So he has never been there in his whole life. He's in his 40s. So for him to take that journey, that sacrifice, actually that's 1 week travel for him to go and submit. So to me, this is not right.
All right. Okay. All right, Doc. You're exaggerating right now. It's not a week.
He has to travel from Shikatende to come to Lusaka and sleep there and see his cousins in Lusaka. The village people, they like to visit people, you know. So he can't pass through Lusaka without going to someone's village. Okay, but anyway, to me, my last question I have is to my party. Can't we do this after the elections? Because I know the main thing we need as a party is that the constituencies delimitation, whatever they call
limitation of
constituencies. That is the main. That's the butter and the bread we are looking for. It's a fact. We want more constituencies in our favor. That's not something we can hide. Everyone knows. That's what my party wants. Okay, fine. But let's do it after the elections. We will still get those constituencies. Okay? We will still win with the current constituency numbers. We will still win. Okay? There's no opposition. In my view, there's no opposition which can stop us from winning come next year. So let's forget about this. It's just making us unpopular for nothing. I submit.
Okay. Go ahead, Wakalinda.
I thought the doc was going to agree, and then I was going to disagree. But I mean, I strongly also disagree on this one. I think for me, it's a timing factor, because this is something that we should have done out of the door, out of the gate when we came into power in 2021. Doing it now, it's a little too late, and we're giving ammunition to the opposition that's not even there. Like the doc says, why only provincial centers. Why are we only doing? I mean, I'm personally, I will submit virtually my submission to the constitution, and this will be the first one I'm ever going to do. I'll do it virtually, but because I've got the means and access to, hoping that when I'll be doing my submissions, the network in Zambia won't be, working against me. Like, we had the network working against Mr. Himwami today.
Money, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, not all of us have that privilege or the time to actually do it. So only doing it for 30 days, come on, people. Let's be serious. We're trying to produce a document that's going to stand the test of time. There's a reason why the American Constitution is not being doctored like the way we doctor ours. Like every party that comes into ushered into power in Zambia, we have to doctor our own national constitution. We have no respect. That should be the document that supervise the way we live our lives, the way we do things in the country, the way we respect ourselves, and all of that. But why should we doctor that document every regime change? So, really, I mean, yes, there are some lacunas. We've heard about them, but this is not the right time to do it. It's not the right time. Mr. President, if somebody's going to give you this podcast today, please just call it off, because it's making us look desperate. It's making us look bad when you've done so many great news in the country. This is not it. If you have to do it, let's do it the proper way after you win the elections next year. So for right now, let's just suspend it. It's not worth the little ways we are putting into it. It's not worth it. We have got better things to do. I submit.
Well, good submissions, guys. But the process already started, so I
It can be
don't know if they,
suspended. It
I
can
don't
be
know if they can
suspended.
halt it right now, because they halted it, and then when that court judgment came in, and then they say, okay, fine, let's go to what the court recommended.
Yeah, but
Um,
we have already a court case against
mm,
this
mm,
these submissions people are making right now. We have a court case.
mm,
So the
okay.
court case, the constitution will have to rule again. If they ruled against us the first time, 100% chance they're gonna rule against this. Munia Zulu and them, they've already taken this case to court. So,
That one you already heard the Munia Zulu
yeah,
and
there's a new one against this current submission that
mm,
people are making. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh well,
yeah.
I think we got the we got the best minds in UPND. We got the best lawyers, and of course we got the Attorney General. Of course, they are advising the government on the best way to move in these issues. I wouldn't even tap into it much, not until we actually really hear the way forward after all these, or after all everybody's been saying. What is it? What's the percentage of the people that? How many people want this process to go on? How many people don't want this process to go on? Like, what is it? A 50-50? Is it a 60-90? What 60 whatever 40? Like, or is the majority?
nobody has done a survey on that. We
Mm,
don't know.
yeah. So until
So
we
the
know
only
that,
way we're gonna
mm,
know, I mean, the sampling we could do, because I've done a little bit of survey in my line of education. Come on now, the only way we're gonna know is we will take, for instance, take the province of Lusaka. How many people are in Lusaka? I'm going to put a number: 2 million. Of the
mm,
2 million, how many are adults? How many people are 18 and over who can actually make these submissions?
mm,
It's probably 1 million. I'm just putting a number there. I'm not saying that's the exact number. I'm just, reading out these numbers. And then how many of those 1 million adults are going to submit to this, sittings currently that are happening? So
mhm.
from that number, then that's when we can get a sampling. Like, well, a total of maybe 2,000 that, adult actually submitting. So right there, it's going to be a no. Right? It's going to be less than, I would say, less than 1% or 2% of the 1 million submitted. So until that happens, we are all shooting in the dark. Because I mean, we have to look at numbers when it comes to sampling or surveys. It's as simple as that.
Mm. All right. Okay. So we'll come back to this. Obviously, as we gather more information and as we know what the position of the government is from now going forward. But hey, but, but Danny,
Yeah.
your coach has finally resigned. You're the one who wanted them to resign. He's finally
Yeah.
resigned.
It was long overdue. He realized that he had
Uh,
um, no way of continuing. It's good that he has resigned on his
mm,
own. Yeah, we want to move on, and it's a
mm,
good thing that he's gone now. And but the challenge we have as Zambians now is, what do we want in our coach?
mm,
What are we looking for? Because all along we've been looking for a foreign name as the
mm,
only name that can make us prosper.
mm,
I think our view of a Zambia national coach should change now. We shouldn't just be looking for a foreign name. We should be looking for quality, somebody
mm,
that can deliver results.
mhm,
So foreign entity or foreign person should
mhm,
not be the prime factor in selecting our national coach team. National team coach. So
mhm,
that's the thing. We should move away from that way of thinking, because all along, FAS, the moment they want a national coach, they first look outside and not within. Okay, we can have nowadays with technology and all this. There are a lot of local Zambian people that can do a good job as long as they assemble a very good technical team around them. They can still deliver. They can still deliver. So let's look. Let's take time to look around. Um, get a coach. It shouldn't be always a European or something. We can get even an African coach from another African country. That's fine, if as long as it's capable of delivering the results. But for us to start saying, "Oh, we want someone from Sweden, Switzerland, Israel, or what," as the priority, I think we haven't been getting it. We haven't been. We shouldn't be looking within Zambia or within Africa. There are also quality coaches that can coach our national team. But it's a good thing that he's realized that is, and he wrote a very touching letter to say goodbye to Zambians and stuff. But he he is not bitter. He
mm,
realized the shortfalls. In that letter, he says, though the last statement was a little bit, he was a little bit sarcastic to say, "Oh, I found them in a ditch. They are now in a good place." I don't think so. That was over exaggerating about his success.
mm,
Um, because he said when he came in, his what do they call it? His benchmark was to make them qualify for these tournaments and not win the tournament. So, who gives you the benchmark of just qualifying and not winning the benchmark? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, so that's what he said. He said he was told just to make the team qualify and
mm.
not win the cup, and he did that. So he's very proud.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I,
Anyway,
wo- I wonder what kind of management is anyway. Bakalinda.
Well, I'm just going to add on to what the doc says. I think, for me, I was ready for the bid man to leave, like yesterday, and we got what we wanted. At this point, really, I think we have so many Zambian coaches that can, make. We don't even have to look outside Zambia. For instance, Dennis Makinga, look at what he's done with the under 17. Why can't we just promote him to senior level? I mean, it's good enough, it's good enough experience. Moses Citrone has been coaching. is available. I think Christopher Katongo. He knows what we need to do to get us to the African Cup of Nations, and and also I think. With national team selection, let's make sure everybody's included. Let's send out people to every corner of Zambia and bring out the cream, because not all our best players are based in Lusaka or Copperbelt or Northwestern Province. Everybody's playing soccer on the streets of the country. There are little boys doing it. So let's cast the net wider. And yeah, Dennis Makinka can do it. He's proved it.
Debbie.
Oh, whatever his name is. Okay. Debbie Makinka, whatever his name is. He's proved his point. Moses Siton is out there doing his, Dennis Slaughter can do it. I mean, even Carlo, we can bring him back. I mean, we brought him back as a Tekenko. I mean, he knows more than a thing or two. At least he's given us one cup. He certainly, I mean, he should have a lot in his arsenal to make us who we need to be, especially for the male national team. Come on, a disaster. Look at the girls. We have that, whatever her name is, from Sweden or whatever country she's coming from. Yeah, she's taking us to the World Cup again. Good result, Kundandanji. The girls are doing great. What's wrong with our male team women too? What's wrong?
Yeah.
Somebody tells me. I think playing the same team under different coaches, thinking we're going to get different results.
Mhm.
It's a problem.
I think for the male teams in Africa, we have this sort of football corruption, the so-called football corruption. The coaches want players to respect them like little gold, like a little gold, so to speak. To say, if a player does not respect me, he will not be on the lineup. If the player does not sometimes the players shouldn't be afraid of you as if you are, it's just a quality you want in the players. Look at this guy, what he did to our own Fashion Sakala.
Mm-hmm.
He contributed to us not qualifying or winning. He just tossed him out. Oh, Fashion
And then
Sakala is very stubborn. He doesn't listen to me. So
and
he
the
will never
day he
play for
comes back, he wins us a game.
Yeah, that's a guy who wins us most of the games, and then because he doesn't agree with you, you take it personal that you never feature him in the national team. So Zambia really, really, we don't know those games we were losing without him. Whether
Yeah, and
we
we
have
kept
made it.
quiet about it. We kept
Yeah,
quiet. Nobody said
we
anything.
kept quiet
Yeah.
about it. This guy is eliminating one of the best players we have, and then you're just quiet as fast. Come on, that's
So
unacceptable.
I think me and my take on this one is we have that inferiority complex that a lot of African countries have, not just in football, soccer, everywhere, even in the economy, even just running our own countries. I mean, there's just that a thing to say if somebody's got a different skin tone, then they're better than us. So we need to start gravitating to the position where we say, look, we can source all these. Zambia is very talented. The players are talented.
Yeah,
The players are already talented. All we need is a coach. Now, there shouldn't be a disconnection between a coach and the players. Most of these young, talented players, most of them have, they haven't reached that high level of education. So even the communication itself, one, there is that breakdown of communication because he obviously will be talking to them in English. But imagine this, you know,
Even his
all,
English wasn't all there.
yeah,
Let's put it out there.
So, but my point is, if we have a coach that can simply break it down to the players in the local language, just like the way KK11, I forget his name, the coach, it was. He would sit there and start to point, Iwe, Mupikoyo, you know what I mean? And people would understand that. You would, hey, you know, speaking our own language, just like other countries in South America, they'll be there speaking in Spanish, you know, and that's how the players they coordinate. They're like, oh, okay, we understand better that way, okay. And even just the communication, even the culture breakdown, even like it's football it's not just football, but it's bigger than just football because you're now intertwined. You're going to be together for the next I don't know how many years. So if the culture one, your football players, they want to do something, they want to eat in Shima, you want to go and eat spaghetti. You have to have that coach that understands the players understand the coach, you understand each other's languages, and you're able to communicate properly and say, guys, tushitefia so, guys, onani, papa vaipa, so.
That's true.
Can I also throw in something there and digress a little bit, because you know how
Okay.
I love to digress. The coach who won us the African Cup of Nations was a white man, chairman. He
French.
hardly understood, and his English wasn't all there. What made that coach so special? He didn't speak the local language, but the boys gravitated towards him. Even now, when you speak to that, to that winning team, they speak of him like a god to them.
The boys and girls
The boys and girls. What was his name
gravitated
again?
towards. He married a Zambian.
Yeah, what's his
Oh,
name?
are you talking about is it Hevran? What was it?
Hey, Renat.
He
Yeah.
married
Yeah.
he ran away with the Zambian woman.
I will tell you, yeah,
What?
but
Yeah.
you see how his coaching system was. He would
Huh?
go there, he'll be screaming, he'll be telling, you don't have a coach na ikala pampandore tamba fe bola na ikala.
Lumba mdala bale
Are you a
tutanga ama bed
spectator?
signs na imwe baliranga ama bed signs.
Are you a spectator or you're a coach?
Bale tutanga ama bed signs. Yeah, mdala bale abanani.
I
Eh?
listened to Chelsea talking about him when he was at Chelsea. They
Uh-huh.
said the same thing what Chanda is saying. They are saying they were discussing it. But that coach today we in NRA she pull up a bench. They were saying that.
No, but he was too.
Right.
In all seriousness, I think he was too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
He
was.
just didn't have the energy.
The players are
Yeah.
there pushing instead of when you see the game going very very hot.
Mm,
The coach as well has to be in the same mood as if it's the players. But
mm.
Look at our coach at Arsenal. Arsenal. Okay, sorry.
Mm,
I digress.
always sleeping on the bench.
mm.
You know.
However,
Yeah.
nobody look here. I don't know the I'm a budget baba pela mana and can fazi. But
No,
find the coach.
it's Kamanga. That's why he didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Mm.
He gave that coach a $3 million contract.
Yeah.
Eh?
We want to Aquaresa. Now me have been saying it. Go and get Ama guys Kwatavena Christopher Katongo. He's too youthful. The players will be able to relate to him because he's youthful. Okay?
And he wants to prove it. And he
You see
wants
what
to
I'm
prove a
saying?
point.
Debbie Makinka. He's
You see-
taken an under 17 male national team to the World Cup
Yeah.
for the
How much?
first time. That's not a small feat, Vane.
Yeah.
Eh? He has seen it. Eh? You can let him, okay, go and finish your project to go to World Cup. After that, to pay $500,000 to come and coach the national team.
Yeah.
And you'll see what he's going to do.
Because he has a point to prove.
Yes.
But
But
yeah, but
anyway,
that was bad.
soccer football is, and one funny thing is this. Bangwenja was even when he posted something on social media. He was like, Imwe, I'm looking for a channel where I can watch Zambian football. Where is it? That even brought back to what I was saying earlier on. I was like, look, even ZNBC itself, they don't have a sports channel, which is a national broadcaster. They don't have a sports channel. Sports channel. So we need to start thinking in those terms. First of all, we need to start promoting our own local football. Yeah, they're alive. We know with
But
a
our local
proper.
football, they are live. We have a contract with what no matter anybody, SABC or something in South
I don't know why
Africa.
is it on SABC? Why is it not on ZNBC?
They have
Right.
the
We
machinery.
we
So
don't
why
have
don't we have the machinery?
we
We
don't have
don't got no money.
satellites. We have no
Huh?
satellites.
Kwepya ku Chicago,
Why don't
Zambians.
we have the machinery?
We
We
Because
don't have
look,
any
ngane
satellites.
machine
look, but okay,
kutwala
look
ku
at this.
Chicago mukunwina.
This is what's happening. SABC cannot transmit or broadcast those without using our Zambian satellites.
We don't
They
have
use
satellites. Zambia has no
they
satellites.
sorry?
That's the reason. Zambia has no single satellite
No,
in
no,
the
no. We
sky.
do have like they use them. Like look, even multi-choice. I think
We
it's
have receivers.
mm,
We
From
have no
Zamtel.
satellites.
It's
Zambia,
only now under Mutati that they're trying to do a satellite. I
yeah.
think there are plans to
I
We
do that.
have
believe we
no
do.
satellite. Mutati,
I might be wrong on that one, but I believe we do have a satellite that
no.
We have a
multi-choice.
receiver through
We have
Zamtel.
receivers in Mwembeshi. That's
Through
it.
Zamtel, Mwebant, we don't have a
Mm,
satellite.
We have no satellite in the air.
It's only
mm.
now that we are trying to do it under the new Don government, Mwebant.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
another Quenu coming. It's another Quenu
That
coming.
will be
Mm,
big. So once
Uh,
we have a satellite in the air, we will be able to zoom on any game, wherever it is. We'll
mm.
zoom it, capture it, then send it to Mwembeshi.
Yeah,
mhm.
So right now, why we don't do that?
Danny,
Yeah.
broadcasting at the point where we are now. I don't think we need a space satellite for us to broadcast
No, you
anything.
need it.
Yes, we
You
do.
need
We
it.
do. Yes, we need it.
You need it. You have to own your own for you to have the rights of
Yeah.
transmission. Otherwise, you have to go to South Africa and then they charge you $5 million. Okay, for example, if they charge you $5 million per game, how
Mhm.
much money is Zambia first going to get from that $5 million?
Ah, the dog is at the
Oh,
beach.
is muted himself.
He's at the beach. He's always at the yacht club. He's at the yacht club. Yeah. Yeah, I seen some Spanish woman walking up.
So that's what it is, Makalinda Kanshi.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah.
man, okay. So which is a sad thing because I think once that happens,
To say, you know
you know,
what? If
mm,
they charge us $10 million, where are we going to get this $10 million from the viewers? How are we going to capture this money from people in Shangombo who are going to be watching the game? So it doesn't make economic sense. That's why.
And even those people in Shangombe, do they even have TVs to begin with?
no, everybody's got TVs now. No, they do have
You
now.
see, so
No, they
that's
do.
it. Doesn't make economic sense
Very
Mm.
to.
few households.
No, they
But
do have
once we have
TVs
our
now.
own,
Huh?
we don't need to pay anybody. We just zoom in
Mm.
and capture the game and show it to our people. That's it.
Okay. What about all these
Yeah.
low quality,
Anyway, what you
live?
are you there? No, but
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
we're here. We can hear you.
yeah. So that's the thing. We need to
mm,
have our own. We need to have our own satellite first.
mm,
Kaunda, to me, at the time when they were establishing those receivers in Mwembeshi,
mhm,
I think it was cheaper to launch satellites at those days. I don't know when that Mwembeshi thing was made,
mm,
but I think that was the time when we had a lot of money and luxury to do that. We would have launched our own communication satellite in the air.
mm, mm.
Um, but now it's quite expensive. But I like Mutati's vision that by year 3030, 2030, whatever, we should have our own satellite in the air.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then we'll start capturing wild events on our own without
Mm,
any fees or whatever to pay
mm.
anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just imagine this person. I don't agree with, and I don't I dislike him. Elon Musk, doesn't he have satellites built to Zambia for his internet?
No,
Yes,
Elon Musk satellites are in the air. There are thousands of them. They are
yeah.
Uh-huh.
small. They are smaller versions.
Mm-hmm.
They are all over. They are all over the space.
Yeah.
They are rotating around the world, but they are
Mm,
not. They are the capability. Their capability is not that of commercial satellites that are huge and capable of doing things like live matches and stuff like that. For him, it's just for communication purposes. So for him, they are just for a certain frequency of waves that can only transmit audio. Okay, so that's why you can use for communication in terms of phone communication and all that,
And
but
internet.
not when it comes to videos and all that type of thing. They are not
So
yet that level.
with
They are
the Starlink,
thousands. He launches about 1,000 satellites per week.
yeah,
Elon Musk. They're
yeah,
tiny little things. They're
yeah. So
like
I
a
had
small little plate size, like a plate, the size of a plate. That's
mhm,
how small that his satellites are.
yeah.
And there are so
I
many of them in
actually about Danny.
there are
Just so I
thousands
don't know
of
what
them.
you're saying about Danny.
And
Just,
he's very smart in the sense that
Danny.
he doesn't need any license to launch them because there's a height. There's a height in the space where you need to get a license. But he has come below that height where you have to get permission. You can just launch whatever you want to put in there without anyone bothering you. And that's what he's done.
Gentlemen,
He's a
I
smart
have
guy.
to I have to leave.
I have to
Yeah, I
leave as
think
well. I'm getting a lot of text
we all
messages
have
here
to.
from
Well,
my
have to leave.
colleagues.
Yeah, we
Yes,
all have to
my
leave.
I need to spend a little bit of more time. My college bound son, or he's already in college. Is here. He just
Okay.
drove in, so
All right.
Oh,
let me
okay.
be a mother for a few hours before he goes back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
All
First
right.
year. First
Let's
year. No,
let's
no, no,
call it
no.
a day.
All right, guys.
Bachirufia is
Thank
on
you very
mute.
much, guys. Thank you for joining us
You
today.
are mute,
We'll
Bachirufia. I can't hear
all
you.
be. No, Makadina, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Now like stand you to go in your but
Yeah. He's
It's
muted.
you. It's you.
He's
It's on your
talking to
end.
himself.
No, it's on your end. Wakalinda can hear me.
Yeah. He can't hear us. That we can't hear him.
I can hear you, the both of you.
No, I
So
can't
it
hear
is
you
you.
myself.
Eh?
Can't hear.
Who are you looking at the yacht club? Dope.
No, it was yesterday. We went on a sunset cruise.
Okay.
Yeah,
That day we went on a cruise,
you've
so I was
muted
not
me.
available.
No,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can hear you as well, but I can't hear Chirufia.
Uh-uh.
Uh,
What's going on? What's going on?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know. Something weird. But in any case, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll join, or maybe close it to Wakalinda so that he can hear. Thank you, but for taking part, to obviously convene next week again.
Oh
And
yeah.
everybody, have a nice, lovely weekend. Enjoy the family.
Oh, absolutely. Good night. Good evening.